So the first trailer for Power Rangers just dropped, and before I talk about that, I should probably tell you where I fall on the spectrum of watching the original show. So if over here you've got people that never watched it because they're too old, and over here you've got people that had defined their childhood because it's what they watched their whole childhood, I'm right in the middle, probably slightly over on this side of things. I was just young enough that when the show came out, I watched it, everybody I knew watched it, but we watched it in secret. I believe I was in the 6th grade, and so we were like, knew we shouldn't watch it. We knew it was a little bit too kiddie and young for us, but we all loved it still. So I watched the first 2 seasons of it with Rita Repulsa, Zed. I watched the first movie that came out, and I haven't seen anything else since then because I hit like the 8th grade and I was like, well, this is stupid. And it's a weird show. It's a weird place in American culture that it became a phenomenon that we're now getting this movie because they took old leftover footage from Japanese shows and then intertwined it with American footage of kids, and then that's the TV show. That's what the TV show has always been. And that's a weird thing to do, and it's a weird thing for it to become a cultural phenomena that we would be given the big blockbuster treatment now. And to that point, it makes it really tricky to adapt it because the original source material was inherently extremely corny, cheesy. It was just an excuse to use this footage. And so there's not a whole lot there to be taken seriously. And so you have to go through a very thin line there of being true to the original or make a movie that's just wholly a new thing with some just kind of Easter eggs and nods to the original source material. So where does this fall on that spectrum? So my first impressions, the whole thing felt like they were giving it the YA treatment. It's got that same color scheme as like Twilight, I Am Number 4, the same music cues as those types of movies. And so it just has that kind of skin on top of it and similar types of teenage angsty discussions at this high school and arguing with parents. And none of that was present in the original source material, certainly not in this vein. So it feels very much from the get-go that they're going in a different direction that's very much loosely based off Power Rangers. And then as it plays out, it starts to feel a little bit more like the Fantastic Four movie that came out last year because it's a group of people come together and find some magic things that give them powers and they're trying to discover what that looks like. Once again, that's not really how it played out in the TV series, so it's an adjustment on the original source material. And from there, it doesn't really, like the key stuff from the original stuff is they wear goofy outfits. They turn into big gigantic robots to fight big monsters. Rita Repulsa is like using her putties and sending those down. Lord Zed might make an appearance. None of that is present. So if you watch this trailer and it got to the end of it and you just cut off like the last 2 clips that it shows, and when it shows the title, it doesn't say Power Rangers, it says Hope in the Darkness or something like that. You would not guess that this was based off the original Power Rangers. That would not be your guess at all. There's no clue of that. The characters aren't similar enough. The tone is wildly different, and it doesn't have those key things. Now, the last couple of shots at the very end, you get someone named Rita flying over, and perhaps you'd see that and go, oh, Power Rangers. And the very last shot, you start to get a little bit vibe of, okay, that's their costumes. But all of the trademarks, all of the things that make up Power Rangers being Power Rangers are not present in this. So what do I make of that? Well, I'd say it's a teaser trailer, and a very odd teaser trailer at that, because it teases it really in name only, and it feels like this subgenre or genre of YA movies. Like most reminded me of I Am Number 4, a fairly forgettable movie from about 5 years ago that I enjoyed enough. It was pleasant enough. This movie seems good enough, charming enough, but given that I know what the source material is and you know what the source material is, this trailer doesn't really give us a taste of what the source material is. Eventually they're going to fight big gigantic things. Eventually they're going to go into robots. I'm assuming that's going to happen. It would be if that doesn't happen, then why did they use the name Power Rangers? Like, what is this going to be if that's not in there? But it's not in this trailer, in which case you can't do much with it to know even what I think about it, because I know there's all this stuff that's not shown in this that's kind of really key and important. Is it a guy with a suit that zips up in the back that's copied from footage from Japan, or is it awesome Pacific Rim type action? I don't know. Also to say that the shot of Rita in it where she's like flying over someone in a bed was just weird. It was odd. I don't remember Rita doing that before. I don't know why she's doing that, so that's a weird introduction to this new version of the character. Overall, as a guy in his 30s who has a bit of nostalgia but no love for the Power Rangers, that's always thought this was a very strange thing to adapt in the year 2016, Man, I have no clue what I make of this trailer because I'm intrigued enough. It seems charming enough. It seems watchable enough. But I view it on the same level that I watch some YA movies that, occasionally my wife has read the books or the premise is just intriguing enough that I'll check it out and watch it a time or two, but I don't think anything of it. That's what this feels like to me. Now, if they showed amazing robot versus monster action, maybe I'd have a totally different perspective on it, but based off what they showed me, I'm just kind of going, okay, that's good enough. I guess I appreciate that it's not campy, corny, cheesy like the original stuff, but if it's not, why are we making this? Like, that's what this source material is, so I don't know what this is supposed to be. All that said, I guess the YA direction is a good direction to go, given the demographics most likely to go see this. I don't know that most people my age are going to go running out to see this opening weekend. It's going to be people younger than me, so the YA, I guess, fits best. But what do you think? Should they have gone campy, corny, the stuff that the series was? Should they go with that really violent short film version, or is this YA a good direction? Does it feel right for it? And were you annoyed at the lack of Power Ranger action in the Power Rangers teaser trailer? Tell me in the comment section, because I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. If you've never clicked that subscribe button, but you like the sound of my voice, please consider clicking that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.